Today I'd like to talk about Glass Houses by Rachel Caine, which is actually the first book I managed to finish since January, which is really strange and not like me at all. But I've had problems focusing and stuff, but finally I hopefully seem to be back. I am having my spring break and I've been to London and I had time to read and I've had a great time, as you probably saw in my previous video on London, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about this book, which is Glass Houses. I bought this book as an ebook. It must have been in July last year. It was when I was in Scotland, and I saw a review by Anna from Reviews by Anna, I think it's called, her channel. I'll leave a link in the doobly-doo for the review that I saw, and I found it really intriguing, so I decided to buy the book, and I finally managed to get through it. This book is about a girl. Her name is Claire and she's 16 years old and she is in college. You might think that's a bit early, but she's a really smart girl. She knows she's really good at school. She loves studying, and therefore she has been sent to college earlier. She finished high school earlier and sent off to college. She would have loved to go to some of the other more well-known colleges, but she ends up in Morganville because of it not being all that far from home. I think it's the reason. The book starts off with Claire being bullied by some of the older girls in the dorms. She's living in an all-girls dorm, and for her being smart and younger, of course, she's kind of like the natural person to pick on and bully, and I'm not saying it's nice, but it's like, of course, that's what's happened. The main bullying person, she's actually not just bullying Claire, she's bullying a whole lot of other girls as well, but she is not very smart, and at some point in the beginning of the book, Claire makes a remark to something Monica says, which puts Monica in a really bad light, and makes her seem really stupid and silly and not very bright, and it really angers Monica. And she's not just like the bullying girl, she's now Claire's enemy, sort of, pretty much. What happens is that they push Claire down the stairs. She's pretty beaten up by that. Fortunately, she's not like seriously hurt, but she's pretty beaten up, and she decides that it will be a good idea now to leave school, school dorms, not school, but school dorms, and find somewhere else to live. She can't tell her parents because they would not allow it, and she pretty much flies. She's pretty much desperate. So she finds this announcement, this ad, that they're renting out a room in a house they call the Glass House, which is owned by Michael Glass. After a bit discussing, she ends up getting the room in the house of Michael Glass, and she becomes very good friends with her roommates, or her flatmates. Housemates is probably more correct term, I guess. Eve, Shane and Michael, and they all carry their own little secrets, but I'm not going to say anything more about it. But turns out everything isn't really what you would have thought. One of the first nights, Eve actually warns Claire that she must not go out after dark, you can't do that because of the vampires. And Claire thinks this is a really strange thing. I mean, vampires, come on. Vampires are things you see in books or in the movies. However, turns out that yes, there are vampires in Morganville, which is this town. Hardly noticed by anyone else. So things starts to happen, and all of a sudden there's a lot of things Claire ends up in doing she would never have dreamt of. I'm not going to spoil anything more or say anything more about the book because I think you should read it. The book is an easy read. It's I think the audience it's meant for is young adults. But I think you could enjoy this book even though if you're an adult. I mean, I'm over 30, closer to 40, and I really enjoyed it. And I really like that you have this main character who's really smart. I think often you have this not very bright young girls, and they pretty much just stand there and do stupid things, and they're just annoying. But Claire is a smart girl, but she's just 16, so of course there are things she kind of maybe misjudges a few situations, but all in all, it's kind of the things you would do when you're 16, right? So I don't mind that. I also really like that the vampires in this book, they are not nice. You don't go off having an affair with a vampire. No, the vampire would kill you. So that's another thing I really like about this book. The mean, not very friendly vampires. There's also things that I didn't expect would happen. Some people weren't quite as they seemed, which I also really liked, and yeah, it was a good entertainment. And however, the problem with the book, it ends with a cliffhanger, so now I have to read the next one. I will read the next one at some point. But I have some other books I really need to finish before I start something new. I've been really bad at starting something new and starting something new lately, so I think it would be good. So that was that, and I hope to come back with another review in not too long.